It's Vani. Welcome back to another Positivity Voice live stream. Thank you all so much for joining in and tuning in. The Positivity Voice live stream is all about getting to bring back some joy and, of course, positivity. I started this in 2020 as part of my service initiative Ease to really bring some joy back into our lives, especially during a time that we really needed it. But I love to continue those efforts because I think it's so important to highlight not only stories, but also feel inspired and feel some joy along the way. So I see that our guest speaker has joined on. A quick little introduction. We have an amazing guest. Her name is Hansika Nasanally, and she's the current National All-American Miss Junior Teen. So since she's hopped on, let's invite her on. Having a great holidays. I know it's been approaching, and Happy New Year, everyone. Hi, Hansika. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So good to see you again.
It's only been like 2 months, but it feels like forever.
I know, but I also feel like every time we talk, it feels like we've not changed at all, which is it's amazing. What have you been up to during the holidays? You probably started school back.
Yes.
School okay.
Getting back into the flow with that, I started school this Monday, so
okay.
The break was really fun. I got to go all over Charlotte, North Carolina with my friends, just hang out, just taking a break from school, realizing this happened. I haven't said it yet, but making my plans for the next year, and I'm very excited for what's to come.
That's awesome. No, I love that. I start next week, so I have just
really?
Week. Yes, it's really nice. We had about 3.5 weeks. Typically, it's like only 2 weeks, so it was nice to have a little extra time.
No, yeah, we had 3 weeks too. We just started
probably earlier.
Yeah, we started earlier.
Awesome. I love that. And of course, yes, I know it kind of cut off, but Happy New Year. I think it's so amazing. And this is the first live stream of 2025 for me, so I'm very excited that you are the special guest to join on. We're starting with a bang, absolutely.
I'm so honored. I'm so excited for this because I remember when I got to interview you for Undeniably Me, so full circle moment.
I know, and I was telling you, like, I can't believe I haven't interviewed you yet. Maybe it's just been, we've just kept communication on text, so I'm glad we get to bring this to video now.
Absolutely.
I love it. So as we have some people joining on, do you want to start off just by introducing yourself and things that you're involved in?
Yes, of course. Well, hi everyone. My name is Hansika Nasanally. I'm your 2024 National All-American Miss Junior Teen. Still feels so crazy to say. I've been with National American Miss for 6 years. When I grow up, I do want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon and be involved in the medical field. I've been an Indian classical dancer for the past 15 years of my life, and which is all about this interview today. I have a platform called Undeniably Me, where I've been able to interview girls I've met all throughout pageantry about their cultures and heritages and just what makes them special. So I'm so excited to be able to talk about this with Bonnie today.
Yay! I love it. Awesome. Thank you also for taking time to join me today. And I'm sure everyone will feel so inspired by all the things you just mentioned. So let's dive deep into those things. You mentioned that you want to be a cardio something surgeon. How did that happen? You know, what got you interested in that medical field?
So I feel like ever since I was young, I've always wanted to go into the medical field, but I was just like, I never knew what I wanted to be specifically. But a couple years ago, my grandmother died due to a heart attack. And so ever since then, I feel like it was like set, like I want to go into the cardiology field. And then surgeon, I want to become a surgeon just because I remember when she got her first what's it called? Heart surgery.
Surgery, okay.
Her first heart surgery, I remember how she got to actually live for another 2 years. She wasn't supposed to make it through that, and I remember that surgeon being so grateful for him and everything that he's done. So I feel like if when I'm in that position, I'd want families to feel the same way about me and just let them know that I'm there to take care of them and I can do everything in my power to help people in that position.
That's awesome. No, that's amazing. And what is the title? You said something. The beginning, like this long title. I was like, what is this?
Cardiothoracic surgeon. It's actually a funny story. I remember being backstage before formal wear, and the MC like came up to me because it was on my MC part because I wanted to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. She was like, "How do you pronounce this?" That sounds like cardio something. I'm like, cardiothoracic surgeon.
Yes, exactly what I just did right there. I was like, what is that? That no, that's really, really cool. And I admire that because I've honestly like I've thought about it, but I've never wanted to be in the medical field. I just can't do blood. So I admire that so much and that's awesome. Do you guys have like a program at your school where it's like I don't know what they called it. It's something where you get to work in the medical field, like in not
I
nursing homes, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah, yeah.
about.
I
There's
think some
something.
schools have it because
Okay.
I my school personally doesn't have it, but I have been able to volunteer at multiple hospitals and just get like a behind the scenes of the medical field. I've also been able to intern like numerous cardiologists. So like I've gotten like the behind the scenes
Awesome.
what it's like a day in the life of a cardiologist. And I'm like, this is so interesting. Definitely something I want to go into, but my school doesn't have
Okay.
anything for it. I've met other kids throughout volunteering that
Mhm.
their schools do have it, so they've been able to come from their schools, but my school unfortunately does not have that.
No, yeah, that's it's still amazing that
Yeah,
you got the opportunity to talk with people and to really explore that field because I feel like it can be hard to, narrow down kind of what you want to do and it could
yeah.
change, you never know.
No,
But
yeah,
that's amazing and
yeah.
yes, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, no, go.
Definitely get like a behind the scenes of like what they want to do and like I feel like have like a day in the life of what their life is actually going to be like instead of just blindly jumping into something head first because I know medicine is something I've always wanted to do, but actually getting to experience a day in the cardiologist field and like seeing how busy they are every single day, I'm like it's definitely something to think about, but something I definitely want to pursue in the future.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you've also been dancing for
Yeah,
like your whole life. Can you talk about how you got started? I remember you also showing me a picture of when you were
yeah,
like a baby and you did your engagement at some point, like when you were
yeah.
really tiny. So can you talk about your experience and kind of, I know your mom does teach, so kind of is that how you transitioned and what have you loved about it since then?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started dancing. My first ever stage performance was when I was 18 months old. I was in a little ladybug suit, and it's just like a fun little performance on stage with like a bunch of other girls. But yes, my mother is a dance teacher, which is how I got started so early. And her mom was her dance teacher, so it's kind of like a generational thing. So I do want to keep it going someday in the future.
Yeah.
But I started dancing when I was 18 months old and started learning Bharatanatyam, Indian classical dance, ever since then. And just like little by little, my first solo Bharatanatyam performance was when I was 4 years old. And I still watch back on the video now and I'm like, how did I do that at 4 years old? Because I feel like I can't even do that now. But it was just funny just like looking back how far I've come, but I've been dancing every single year, learning more. And then in 2019, I believe, I was able to complete my Undeniably and be the youngest girl in North Carolina to ever do so. I got a whole award, thank you, a whole award from the governor and everything. It was super duper cool. But I feel like one of the most important things about that award was just letting people know that age isn't a limit of what you can achieve, or like it doesn't define your how much you can achieve in your future. So I feel like that just showed like me, it proved to myself that like age is just a number. You don't have to limit that from what you can accomplish. And it just helped me get my mindset for the future and what I want to do.
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing that you got to be honored by the governor. I feel like that is such an incredible
Thank
accomplishment. And
you.
also, I mean, first to meet the governor, but
Oh,
also to get that accomplishment. That's amazing. For sure. For sure. I love that. So, have you done Bharatanatyam your entire life or you went into other styles? 'Cause I know like Indian parents like love to do that. Like I started with Bollywood and then I transitioned. Yes.
so I think I've like mainly stuck with Bharatanatyam my whole life. I like feel like I've jumped around to Bollywood like a
Okay.
few times, not like a noticeable amount. There were just
Mm,
I did Bollywood for a long time. No, I don't think I've. It's mainly been like consistent with Bharatanatyam, mainly because my
yeah.
mom is a Bharatanatyam dance teacher, so I did always go to her to learn stuff. So I did Bollywood for one of my NAM performances at Nationals a couple years ago. I don't remember which year it was, but let's just say Bollywood is not exactly my style. I'm more comfortable with Bharatanatyam since I grew up with it. It's just something I've always enjoyed doing. I still continue it to this day, and it's just forever going to be one of my
No,
passions.
I love that. And I think it's something you should fully continue so you can
Oh,
also pass on your dance skills to the next generation for sure.
Absolutely. Just a way to connect back to like my culture because living in America, I feel like sometimes it's easy to get distanced away from where you come from and like your roots. So Bharatanatyam, easy way to connect back to India and where I'm from and just connect back to my culture overall.
Yes, I love that. And speaking of connecting to your culture, can you talk about Undeniably Me, where that came from, how that formed, and your favorite project that you've been able to do with it?
All right, perfect. So Undeniably Me, I founded in 2020. I actually created Undeniably Me because of my journey with pageantry. So I first started in 2018. And then when I first joined pageantry, especially National American Miss, there weren't many Indian women or people that looked like me that competed. And so I feel like the rare time I saw a girl that looked like me won or achieve something on a national level, I would feel so inspired. And I'm like, if she can do that, so can I. Because I remember my first 2 years of National American Miss completely not placing at all at nationals and just placing runner up at state over and over again. I started to think that like it was the way I looked that was the problem. I'm like, they won't choose girls because I'm Indian. Like it's me, I'm the problem. I need to fix myself. And then I started coaching with Amanda Marino, and she really helped me realize that like it's not me. It's not me. It's not like how I look. It's not my physical appearance. It's more over my performance. And she really helped me get into that mindset. And she helped me create Undeniably Me. And so together, working with her and really finding this platform and the journey I've been to have with National American Miss, it just helped me realize that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. And then once I got into that mindset, I came back again at National American Miss for state. And that was the first year I won my state pageant. So after that, it like completely like set in my head and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is like my platform. So I started expanding on Undeniably Me. And it turned into an interview series where I'm able to interview other girls I've met throughout National American Miss or just pageantry in general about their cultures and heritages and just what makes them special. Because I feel like one of the main things of why I started Undeniably Me and why I still continue it to this day is because there's a lot of stereotypes about different cultures. And I feel like stereotypes exist because people aren't as educated or don't know as much about the culture. So with Undeniably Me and really educating the people about their cultures and about their cultures overall and where they come from around the world and the audience being more educated about that, it definitely lowers stereotypes like a lot since they know what they're talking about and know what to expect instead of just assuming the worst about every single culture. So that has been kind of the backstory about Undeniably Me and what's to come. My favorite project, I don't want to give too much about it yet. I have been waiting for the national title actually to have the platform to be able to promote it, but I have been working on something for the past 2 years and I'm so excited to finally be able to release it in 2025. It's still like a work in progress, but it's almost done. I'm super duper excited. It's going to be one of my biggest projects that I've ever worked on. And so I feel like this title was meant to happen this year because the project is wrapping up this year. So I don't want to give too much about it yet, but it will be releasing very soon. And I feel like that's going to be my biggest thing with Undeniably Me and just helping spread that message about cultural appreciation.
I love that. And I'm very excited. When can we expect to learn about this project?
I think beginning like right before the summer tour because I
Okay.
do want to like, place as I'm visiting different states over the summer tour, but carefully keep it up because
Okay.
I'm
I'm
so
not I'm not going to pry too much because it should be a surprise. But very excited about that. That's amazing. And, of course, having the platform, it definitely allows you to have that, larger reach, which you've already had a great reach. But to expand that even more, like you mentioned, I think that's so amazing. And I think one thing you brought up that was really important is stereotypes. I feel like stereotypes is something that we continuously face. I remember when I started pageants, even within our friend groups, I would face stereotypes of doing pageants, but also being Indian
yeah.
American and doing pageants. So can you talk about how you faced that and also how you overcame those challenges?
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned earlier, coming into pageants as an Indian American and not really having that representation or just someone to look up to, I felt very out of place and I feel like I couldn't do it. It was my physical appearance that was holding me back. But after overcoming that and like realizing it's pageantry, especially National American Miss, they aren't judging you about how you look, more about how you present yourself, all about inner confidence. After realizing that, I've been able to have so much more successful. My journey in pageantry was so much more successful and overcoming that barrier as well. And I've actually been able to be the first Indian American crowned as the National All-American Miss Junior Teen. And that's something I got to talk about all throughout, even before winning. So during my interview introduction, it's like that was my main point that I really focused on because I know coming into pageantry and seeing those people that looked like me win those larger titles, win those national titles, I felt represented, and I felt like if they can do it, so could I. That I also have a chance, that they are representing me on a national title. So I feel like winning this national title, I really want to make sure that is my number one priority this year, is just representing every single girl from across the country and just truly let them know that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. If you have a dream, you have to go after it, and don't let anything get in the way of that. And I feel like one of the things that people let get in the way is honestly ourselves, like our mentality. It's our mindsets that we have to get over in order to really go far in life. So step one is realizing that you are perfect just the way you are. And I feel like once you really get in the mindset that you are perfect, like nothing could ever stop you from accomplishing your goals, that's when people really start to move forward in life. And so as a national title holder, I really want to spread that message, which I will be able to do with my project, which I keep bringing up and say what it is. I'm really bad at keeping secrets, but hopefully I don't say anything about it too much. But yes, I am super excited to be able to spread that message. And so my journey with that National American Miss would not be the same as it is. Like, I would not be the same person at all. So coming back year after year and starting to see more people that look like me join pageantry, just feeling more represented overall, that's been my biggest journey.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I can definitely relate to that because it's I feel like a journey that takes time, but of
Absolutely.
course like over the years you see so many people more people that look like you, and it makes you so excited to see that people aren't as scared. You know, they're not hesitant
Yeah.
because they see representation and they see that it is possible to go after things that you once probably thought were impossible.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
thank you for being a living representation of that.
Thank
It's
you.
something that really does make a difference. And, you know, just like you mentioned, it really does go a long way for so many girls. So, yes.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, Bonnie.
Have there been for you, like, you know, any challenges that you faced during not just Undeniably Me, but also not only just those stereotypes, but just in general? Like, have there been challenges that you faced that kind of push that message down, or you felt like it wasn't getting across to the people that you wanted it to along the way?
I think during Undeniably Me, I didn't face too many struggles, but in the process of creating it up, yes, there was a lot. So in the start of Undeniably Me, in its very first months of it being created, I remember I was in middle school, I think around sixth or seventh grade. And so I feel like this is a problem that a lot of people of color or just people from different parts of the world has faced. But I remember one of the things when I was starting Undeniably Me, which helped me, just made me realize that, like, okay, Undeniably Me has a reason, it has a message that people need to know. During middle school, sixth and seventh grade, my mom would always pack me Indian lunches, and I would bring them to school and I would open them up and I'd be so excited to eat them. And then as soon as I opened them up, everyone around me would be like, oh my gosh, it's so smelly. And they would start
Yeah.
moving away. And I'm like, I was confused because I'm like, this is what I eat every single day. This, like, this is my normal. But to everyone else, it's not normal because they don't know about it. And I feel like that's one of the things that Undeniably Me really promotes: education about different cultures and different foods and just all different stuff from all over the world. And education, I feel like being educated about those cultures will again help lower those stereotypes and not have people go through the same experiences that I did.
Absolutely. How did you feel kind of in those moments? Like, how did you, because I know I faced very similar situations and it's very, very hard to explain yourself. And it can get tiring, honestly, like
Yeah.
having to tell people and also trying to find like the American name for things. So, how did you handle that situation?
I think being so young at like such a young age, sixth and seventh grade, I was just so confused because I didn't really know how to process it. Because I'm like, this is my normal. I do this every day. Why do they think it's so weird? And so I feel like that had a lot to do. Like, it lowered my self esteem a lot. Like, I didn't feel confident with who I was. I was embarrassed about being Indian American, and then coming to National American Miss, finding that representation, finding like being proud of my culture, being surrounded by people who are so uplifting and the most empowering women, it helped me like bring up my confidence slowly, but surely it did help.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember I feel like just, you know, I would always just Google things. Like I'd be like, okay, Italy, what is it to people? It would just be so, it'd be so, yes, I would literally pull out my phone and Google it because I did not know what to say. Because, you know, being so young, like it's
No,
just, you know it by a certain name. And if you tell that to people, they don't really understand. So it's
oh
hard
my
to find
God, same.
it's hard to find the confidence to speak up, but of course, having opportunities like pageantry, it definitely brings out a sort of confidence in yourself, your culture, and also what you say to others. So Google is my best friend then, but
That's funny. I didn't know you searched them up. That's really funny. You know what I would usually do is I just stopped bringing Indian food to school because I was just so embarrassed of it. But now we're good. I'm surrounded by people who know what it is, and because more people are educated about it, so it's not as embarrassing as it was in sixth grade when everyone would run away from me.
I know. And I think, when we transition, like for me, when I'm in college, I always miss Indian food. So I think it's so funny thinking about the times where I always wish that I didn't bring Indian food because now I wish I did.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we'll see when I move to college in 2 years.
Yes, freeze pack some like rice and everything to
I know
bring.
my brother, he always takes like packets of my food my mom made, like
Yes.
she makes it up comes home for break. And then he takes like boxes of it back to his college, so he doesn't really have to worry about that.
That's nice. Yeah, no, I've kind of done the same a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think I need to do more, going into the new year. I feel like maybe I can, bring more
Yeah.
every week or something. That would be so helpful, because, college food can get boring. But okay, that's besides the point. Do you feel like, I guess on the basis of college, are you excited about having the opportunity? I know you mentioned that you wanted to go to Brown
Yeah.
University, if I'm not mistaken. So what was kind of the experience for you? Was there things in your life that kind of led you to know that that's kind of where you want to go, or having plans to attend college there?
So like I said, but one of the things after doing a little bit of research, Brown actually has a special program called a BSMD program, and it's basically like automatic acceptance into med school. So once I apply in October, whenever the college application cycle starts, but if I get in, I will be able to automatically get accepted into the undergraduate and graduate program all while being 17. And I feel like that's one of the things that Brown has like always stood out to me because they offer that program for such young people to have those high standards and already like have a set path on accomplishing their goal. But if not, I'd love to go anywhere and still study medicine. But Brown has always had a place in my heart because of their special program for that.
That's super cool. I've never heard of that before. So definitely best of luck, sending best wishes. This time next year, you will know,
I
hopefully.
know that's so weird.
Probably, right?
Yes, it's so weird. Like literally as soon as like the clock hit midnight, I was like, it's 2025. Like everyone's saying Happy New Year. I'm having a great time. 5 minutes in, I'm like, wait, I applied to college this year. What?
Oh my
Like
goodness.
I like know where I don't know. That's just like so weird to me because I still feel like 13. Like
Yeah.
it's not wrapping around my head. Same way with this title. Like you're looking at myself in the camera and I'm like, wait, is that the national crown on my head? Like I feel like it's never gonna fully sink in, but it's so important to just live in the present. That's what I've been trying to do this year. Live in the present, take it all in, even though it just feels like time's flying by.
Right. Yeah. It's already been, you said like what, 2 months?
Yeah,
Almost 1.5 months since then. So
crazy.
that is so crazy for sure. And I know it'll fly by, but maybe
I
not. We'll just
did
say
it.
it won't just for
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for the
Just for this.
satisfaction. I love it. You mentioned, living in the moment, which I feel like is so important, especially not just during life in general, but also during pageant week. I feel like pageant week flies by. For you, experiencing this past November, how did you feel like you lived in the moment, but also in terms of your mindset? Because I know you mentioned mindset is something that's of course, really important. How did you prevent any shifts from happening to your mindset during the week and maintain that kind of present moment feeling?
This is so embarrassing to say. I actually talked about this during my interview during the competition, but basically, let me give you a little backstory first. For
Okay.
the past 5 years with National American Miss, I had the worst mindset ever. Like, I feel like the only thing I feel like I talked to you about this during rehearsal too. When I met you in one of the rehearsal rooms. But the past 5 years, I just had the worst mindset ever. It was just like win, 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 win. And if I don't, I failed. I like did terrible. I'm like a loser. I suck at everything. And that was how it was working up here for the past 5 years. I was like, if I didn't win, it was just like I'm a failure. I did terrible. And it's just like I need to work better. But this year, I think the changing point for me was placing first runner up last year. Because then it was like last year, I remember I wanted to win so bad. I wanted it so, so, so badly. And I was just so overconfident, like out of my head. And I'm like, I just want the crown. And after being so close to it and not getting it, I was like devastated, completely broken. And after that, it was like, okay, it's fine. But then getting my report card back and seeing that I got the highest score in every competition. So it was like, I didn't even know where to improve on or what to do. It was just like, I felt like the world had ended. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. And so I feel like that was the moment where I was like, this has to be about timing. Like I performed my best. My scores were quite literally like I couldn't improve anywhere. So it was like, this has to be about timing. So I made a promise to myself that that entire year I'm like, I don't care about winning anymore. Because at that point, it was just like, I started watching back my videos about my NAM journey, like from when I was 10 years old to 12 to 15 and now 16, and looking at my NAM journeys and that entire, like this entire year from January to December last year, like watching it back the entire year, I started to realize how much I've grown as a person with National American Myth. Like I've seen my performances, like you can see my confidence like grow every single year, my performance grow and me placing higher every single year. And then I started to realize I have so much more to live for than just winning. Like I've grown so much as a person. I've learned so many life skills. And so coming to nationals that year, back for All American, I was like, the crown is out of my hands. I'm here to just have fun because it's like I didn't care about winning anymore because I realized I've grown so much
Mhm.
as a person throughout National American Miss. So every single day to make sure that I'm like not worrying about the finale or like worrying about the past that I didn't place before or that if I'm going to win and just truly just like focusing every second at a time, like every rehearsal, every competition, every single morning when I woke up and I was like getting ready in the mirror, I was like brushing my teeth, washing my face, I would play like a 1 hour loop of Feel This Moment by Christina Aguilera. Like it's just a loop of the song over and over again. And so by like the time of interview, by the time it came around, the judges asked me like, how have you stayed in like a good mindset this entire week? And I'm like, Christina Aguilera, because that song, like, it sounds insane and I feel insane saying it, but truly that song, like playing it over and over in my head, like helped me realize like feel the moment, stay in the moment, live in the moment. I feel like that has like that is honestly the reason I think I won because I genuinely like I gave it my best. I just wanted to have fun that week. I wasn't expecting anything out of it. If I won, great. If I didn't, I would still be happy either way because I know I've grown so much as a person and at the end of the day it is all about timing and I feel like this is like I understand it now. I understand why it wasn't there before and I feel like when everything happens, it happens for a reason. And so I finally come to learn that right before the national pageant, getting in that mindset has truly helped me perform to my best ability.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Kudos to you for doing that because it's so hard. I feel like our mind, is so hard. I've talked about this like so many times. I feel like it's such a powerful tool that if you use it well, I mean, it can of course allow you to feel good, in terms of self-esteem and continue to build yourself up. But there are times where your mind will be like, nope, like it'll stray you away sometimes. So
Mhm.
I mean, I'm glad for you, Christina came in clutch. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I've not heard that song in a
Really?
while, so we'll be
You know
yeah
what
yeah, but it definitely is familiar.
you know what song I'm talking about though, right?
I do know what song you're talking about, but it's like a
Yeah.
faint memory. So I think
Yeah.
maybe I'll get back on. But I think music is one of those ways that allows us to
Mhm.
bring such happiness back and
Yeah.
such joy back. I know like a lot of people like when they work out, like they'll listen to music.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It continues to build you up. So that's amazing. And I love that you told the judges that. I feel like that's it's so true. It's
She
so true.
definitely started laughing during interview when I told her.
Right.
I don't blame her. It's really embarrassing because I haven't heard that song since I was like 8 years old. I was just swiping on TikTok and I came across this song like 2 months before nationals, and I'm like, wait, this is a really good song. And I was like, it's like hype, so I added it to my pageant playlist. And then once I got to nationals, I'm like, this is the song that I'm gonna listen to on repeat for an hour for the rest of the week. Exactly what I did, but it really did help me like lock in for the day and just like let me know like make sure to like not rush the day, live every single second, like live it like it's your last name nationals. And that's how I went. That's how I went through the week.
That's awesome. Did you ever feel a time where you were stressed in terms of like having to keep the expectations? Because I feel like, placing so close to the crown over the years, it's very easy to have that feeling in the back of your head. So how did you kind of face that?
Yes. So the entirety of last year, like again, teetering between going to nationals and trying again, and after being so close, or just like giving up and quitting. It was genuinely like a struggle the entire year. I didn't apply to nationals until like 2 days before the deadline. And so it was just like back and forth because I'm like, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Because I feel like I don't want to miss out on NAM
Yeah.
nationals because I'm like, why would I do that? Because when I didn't go to NAM nationals for 1 year, all I did that week was just sit on my NAM merch, binge watching the live stream. So it's like, am I going to do that or am I going to go? Am I going to do that or am I going to go? And I ended up going because I'm like, why not? It's like, I want to have fun. Like, I've seen how much I grow every single year. Just give it my all, go there. I get to get ready every day. I get to be on stage. I get to see my best friends. And I'm like, that's a win-win-win. Like, if I win, cool. If I don't, whatever. I got to see my best friends that I see like once a year. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to go into. But definitely the entire year, it was very, very stressful because it was like, I was so close and I don't know if I want to risk it again. So once I started getting into the mindset where it's like I know winning isn't everything and I have so much more to live for after that, that's when I started like getting more excited to go to NAM Nationals and feeling a lot less stressed about the competition. But again, it's so easy to get lost in your head. So the entire week I think I was fine, but I remember there was one moment right after introduction. So introduction was my last competition. And so after that, they I like watched the entire interviews. I mean the entire introductions. Like it was like 70 minutes to an
Oh
hour.
my
Like
goodness. Wow.
a lot of girls. And so
Yes.
sitting there watching every single girl do their introduction, I was like, wow, every single girl is like they are amazing. Like competition's crazy. 117 girls. It's like that is insane. Like and they're all like really good. They're all super talented, beautiful, amazing, kind. And I'm like, whoa, because I like watched every single girl do the introduction. I'm like,
Mhm.
you are all amazing. And I'm like, okay, I need to lower it down. And I just need to like remind myself. But I feel like it's so easy to start comparing yourself to other girls, especially throughout pageant weekend and being surrounded by like amazing, talented girls the entire week. But it's so important to get in your head and realize you are your biggest competition. And at the end of the day, winning, it's not a win or lose situation. It's a win-win situation because you're either walking away with amazing life skills or you're walking away with a crown and banner. And either one is amazing. And so that's what I kind of had to tell myself after introduction. I'm like, I'm not here to win at all. I'm here to have fun. I had to keep telling that myself because I started getting a little bit stressed after watching every single girl. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I don't win? Like, what's going to happen? And I was just like, I don't care about winning. That's like what I kept telling myself the entire week. Like, I don't care about winning. I'm not here to win. I'm here to have fun. And so clearly it was quite the shocker when the exact opposite ended up happening.
No, I think that is, amazing because I feel like subconsciously when you tell yourself that, then you kind of lose the stress that you have
That's
in,
exactly
even if you're telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna have fun. If you tell yourself like, you know what, I don't care about anything. I'm just gonna do what I do, right? And you just kind of let go. When you let go, I feel like that's when the magic happens because you're your most natural self. You're not trying to like come up with these crazy answers. You're not trying to like be so picture perfect. So I'm glad that that was something that continuously, I guess, progressed because I feel like it's like you said, it's so easy to fall into comparison, and it's all about snapping out of it for sure.
No, absolutely. What you mentioned about like just completely letting go, that is such like that was my key to this, like especially during the finale because it was like introduction, I was like stressing out. Going
Mhm.
into the finale, I was like, my goal was to get top 12. And I feel like that's crazy to say after getting like first runner, but it was just like I would be surprised if I got top 12. Like wholeheartedly, I was like, every single girl here is so amazing. Like competition is crazy. I'm like, if I get top 12, I will be happy because I know I performed like exactly how I wanted to the entire week. I walked away with 2 optional contests, which was crazy. I like
Woo.
friends. I was like, I was so happy with how the week went. It was like the finale, like I'm just there to have fun. I
Mhm.
didn't care if I got top 12, I would be happy. And then I did get top 12 and I was so excited. And I was like, okay, cool. I got like my goal. Like the rest of the finale, I'm just gonna have fun. Like I don't care what happened. And I genuinely didn't think I was gonna get top 5. So I was like, you know what, introduction. I'm just gonna have fun. Like who cares? I'm not gonna get top 5 either way. Do my introduction. And then when they called top five, I think my reaction for that was like was funnier than my crowning video because I'm like, wait, what? Like I'm genuinely just standing there staring at the MC for like 10 seconds, like, wait, did you say Concord for top five? And I'm like insane, like so surprised because I'm like, what is going on? I actually made top five. And so, top five in the past was what I've always been scared about the most. Like, top five question, like the stress. I'm like, oh my gosh, like before I was always like, this is the moment where they select the winner. Like, this is like ride or die. Like, everything you've done for this entire week, like, led up to this moment. But after making top five this year, it was like, I was so like excited to even be in the top five. Like, winning wasn't even like, it wasn't even an option in my mind. It was just like, I made top five out of this like amazingly talented group. I'm like, what? And so the entirety of top five, I wasn't even stressed at all. Like I feel like my answer this year was the most genuine answer I could have ever given. Like before, I feel like it was really fake, like pageantry, like I'm trying to impress the judges. But this year, I remember I got to talk about Harry Potter, meeting Emma Watson, and I'm like, that is like the truest answer I could have given because I'm the biggest Harry Potter nerd ever. And so being able to say that on stage and just like not caring about the result at all and genuinely just having fun, letting go about the result, and it worked off clearly. And I think you are so right about that. Like letting go is one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give to anyone. It's just like not caring about the outcome and truly just living in the moment, because then even if you don't walk away with the crown and banner, you're still going to walk away with like amazing memories and knowing that you have. So I think mindset is like the key to walking into pageant weekend.
For sure. Yeah. And I remember like right after, I think after you won and like everything had kind of not subsided, but like I can, for lack of better
Yeah.
words, subsided. I remember I asked you, I was like, how was on stage question like, and you told me about the Harry Potter, and I was like cracking up because I've actually never read Harry Potter.
Really?
Like I was, yes. I honestly, me in like maybe fourth grade, I read the first chapter of a book, like the first book of Harry Potter. I got nightmares. I remember telling you this. I got nightmares and I never read Harry Potter since. So even like I've not watched any of the movies or anything. So, that kind of, I was like, maybe I should maybe try looking
You should
back
try.
into it like 12, 13 years later. But
No, you should definitely watch the movies, I think. Except the books are giving you nightmares, then definitely watch the movies first and then go into the movies.
I don't know what it was. Maybe they were talking about dragons or something. I have no idea. And then I used to get nightmares a lot as a kid, so I think that contributed to it. But
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't the sole reason. But no, I love that. I think, being genuine, like you said, is definitely the key to just having a
Yeah.
great week, but also showcasing your best self for sure. That's definitely really, really important, and something that I feel like is so hard to do sometimes when you want to be good, right? When you want to
Yeah.
like, you want them to like you. That's just a normal like human instinct, but it's all about letting go for sure.
Absolutely. That's like one of the biggest things like I've learned this past year, and like
Mhm.
even after winning, it's just like letting go honestly results in the best results because like you're having fun either way situation. There's really no like wrong there.
For sure. Yes. And I know you mentioned about like your plan for, in terms of that big plan that you're keeping a secret. Are there any that you can share with the audience what you're most looking forward to and most excited about getting to do with Undeniably Me, and also just as the All American Junior team?
With Undeniably Me, I think I'm super excited to, until after the summer tour starts, just meeting a bunch of new girls, meeting all the junior teens, all the contestants throughout the summer tour, and just expanding on my Undeniably Me platform. With the national title, I'm given such this large platform, and I'm able to educate more people about different cultures. So I definitely want to get back my Undeniably Me video series and interview more people and just let the audience know about that. But as the All-American Junior Teen, besides the summer tour, I'm so excited for the national photo shoot, which is actually next week. I'm literally not it, like at all to my family. They're like sick and tired of it. They're like, okay, we're going to the photo shoot next week. Get it? But it has been all I've been talking about, because ever since I was 10 years old, every single year for the national photo shoot, I would like stalk the national title. Like genuinely just sit there refreshing. Like I would pull up every single, like every All-American queen, every NAM queen. I would just refresh their Instagram for like any story highlights, like
Yes.
what's going on. I want to see what's going on. on. And so just the idea of getting to experience that for myself, like in a week, is so crazy. I can't wait to meet all my sister queens too and just have the most amazing weekend ever. I am excited for NAM Nationals 2025. That's a long time ago, long way. I'm excited,
Yes.
but also I really, really don't want to give it up just yet. The year's just started, so that's a long time away. I'm also excited for that. But the summer tour, getting to travel all across the country and meet so many different girls, very excited for that as well, because now I get to experience as a national title holder. I've already got to experience a few states as a state queen, but super excited as a national queen now.
Yes, and you're gonna be vlogging,
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
The whole thing.
Con-
I'll be refreshing the down
of
your
course,
stories.
I got you. Every second, every single second of the day, I'll like go live on Instagram.
Yes,
So
you'll have my voice like kind of telling you, no, you gotta post something.
yeah, exactly. Because you
No,
never.
I'm very excited for you. I think it'll be for sure so much fun and such a great opportunity to meet, of course, also your new
Yes.
sister queens from this past week with IJM too. So that's so exciting. And are your parents excited? Like, how have they reacted to everything? I'm dying to know.
So, oh my gosh. So, before the finale, like during the crowning reactions, me and my mom would always be like, everyone's definitely faking their reactions. Because there's no way they start like bawling on stage, like getting falling down, not like that's crazy. Definitely faking it. Finale comes around. I'm like fully like I make it to the top two. I'm like, oh, I'm getting first runner up. Like I like there's like not a stress in my mind. I'm like, I'm getting first runner up. I'm fine with it. Like I don't care. I'm happy with how I performed. And then they call Katie as the first runner up. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I'm like, there's no thoughts in my head. Like, the only thing is just what, the word what, screaming over and over again in my head. And I feel like I'm mouthing it too. It's like a blur. But I remember falling, like, my knees, like, my legs just genuinely stop working. And I'm trying to get up and I can't. And I'm like literally stuck to the floor. And I'm like, like the crowning video is just like me trying to get up and then falling back down. Then me trying to get up and falling back down. And then I'm like, okay, so they weren't faking it. It's real. Your legs stop working in the moment. But I think my favorite part about it was in the previous years, like I'd always like jokingly ask my mom, like, oh, what would you do if I won? And she'd be like, oh, I just sit there and clap. And so I'd see the videos of like other girls' moms like start like getting up and crying, and I'm like, you would never do that. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I'd probably just sit there and clap and be happy for you. And I'm like, yeah. And so I'm getting crowned, and I'm like everything's like going on a blur. I like don't know what's happening. Like I can feel the tears like running down my face. My legs aren't working. I'm just like I still can't believe it's happening. And so then after I crowned, and then everyone's like coming up to the stage, I see my mom standing there like tears down her face, and I'm like, wait, you didn't just stand there and cry. I'm like, yay! And then my dad came running up to the stage. They were all both very happy. My dad was super excited because, again, he's been bringing me to nationals for the past 6 years. He's also been super duper excited. I think he's the definition of a pageant dad. He really goes everywhere with me. Super excited for them as well. So, but yeah, they were both very, very excited. They're also excited to go to the National Photo Shoot Summer Tour. My dad already said, like, if you want to go to the summer tour, I will, even if you don't want to go, I'm going to every single state. And I'm like, I'll come with you. But they're both very excited because we've all been like stalking the national queens in the past years, and just like seeing all the opportunities they get to go on, and now being able to experience it for myself, I feel like is the greatest honor I could ever have.
That's amazing. I remember watching that video of I think just someone in the crowd. They
Yeah.
did video, and your dad is the funniest thing. He's like holding his phone up as he's hugging you, and I'm like anything for the reels. Like I love that your parents, they always make these fun like reels throughout the week, and so I was like, he's definitely making a reel from that. It was so sweet.
My mom did end up making a reel out of that. But I think the funny thing is, I saw him like at the corner of my eye, like when I'm recording and everything. I was like, yeah, he's recording a video. I watch back the video. He's recording the ceiling. He's recording every single thing in that room except me. And I'm like, okay, so now you have a 5-hour video of like everyone cheering, but where am I? But my mom got the video, so it was all good.
That is so sweet. No, I love that, and I'm very, very excited for you because it's definitely something that you've worked so hard for. I mean, it's so visible of the dedication and all the things that you've grown since
Thank you.
so many years and 6 years ago. And I just think it's so amazing to see your journey over the years. You
Thank
know, even the years that
you.
I didn't go to nationals, I would always watch. You know, even like you said,
Yeah.
like I was always on the live stream, binging, watching everyone, like posting on my Instagram. You know, go
No, yeah, I
Hansika.
saw sort of everything, and I'm like, oh, she's watching. Like, I feel like that meant so much to me. Just like coming back after nationals, like being in a down mood, and then I like open Instagram, and I'm like, oh, she was cheering me up. Just like made my heart so happy, and I was like, oh, you're the best ever.
Oh, no, I love it. I'm very excited to follow your journey
Thank
going
you.
forward with that new project, which I'm still
Yes.
dying to know, but we'll wait until the summer tour. To end off the kind of live stream, I always ask a question about the youth and what your message is for them in terms of inspiring, educating, motivating, whatever you want to do, the floor is yours.
Right. As I've said numerous times throughout this live stream, I think my biggest message that I want to give to anyone listening, everything happens for a reason. And I know right now it might not make sense because you want something so bad. And I feel it feels like you've done everything you can to work for it. But I promise it's all going to work out in your favor. You just have to never give up on what you want. Because when you want something bad enough, you never ever give up on it. You come back year after year or whatever it is you're working on. You never stop pushing. You keep persevering after that goal. And I promise you, if you want it so bad right now. I've heard this quote, and I feel like that really put things into perspective because clearly it worked out. But if you want something really bad, you want it so bad because your future self already has it. And that really, like, that has been my mindset, just like pushing through this year. If you want it bad enough, your future self already has it. So you have to let go and just truly focus on working hard. Put in the hard work. And then if if it didn't work out the way you want it, everything happens for a reason. There might be something bigger in store for you, but it'll all play out in the future. You just have to believe and not give up.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's perfect because it's the new year. So, new year, new
Yes,
goals. Continue to work on those old goals if
absolutely.
you still have them, carrying them on. So, thank you so much, Hansika, for sharing all of the amazing words of wisdom and advice, and for your time. I know I always say this, but like I genuinely get so inspired every time I talk
Thank
with you
you.
and every time that I talk with all of the amazing guests. So thank you so much for joining on. And I am so glad we were able to do this. So thank you again. And best of luck with everything going forward. Have a fabulous time on your trip coming up
Thank
too. And I hope
you.
everybody has a great rest of your night.
Yes, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I had so much fun talking with you, Bonnie, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely stay tuned. This will be posted on YouTube coming up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things. And I hope to talk to you soon, Hansika.
Yes, I hope to see you soon. Hopefully during the summer
Maybe,
tour.
maybe.
Hopefully.
At some point, we'll definitely have to chat.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great rest of your night.
You too. Bye,
Bye.
Bonnie.